is Jordan MacArthur, and I am one of the producers of Yo Gabba Gabbaland. I could not be happier to welcome you to the Journey to Yo Gabba Gabbaland, our panel. And this has been many years in the making for us. As those of you who watched the first series are aware, we couldn't be happier to be coming back and to share a lot of new details with you today. First, I'm going to introduce our moderator, but it's a man who really needs no introduction to this crowd. You may know him from his legendary stand-up, from Pixar's Ratatouille, The Goldbergs, MODOK, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., BoJack Horseman, Dark Horses, and now Netflix's Minor Threats, and more importantly for our purposes today, the Caveman Kaboom, and as the voice of Croaky in DJ Lance's Super Music and Toy Room. Everybody, give it up for Mr. Patton Oswalt.
This is the last day of the con. I know everyone is dehydrated, exhausted, but you showed up for Yo Gabba Gabba. I love this so much. I'm going to tell a very brief story about my time on Yo Gabba Gabba. I got cast as Caveman Kaboom, and my daughter at the time, who was, yes, that's me, and then also that's the Croaky, which I did in the voice of the lead singer of the Human League. So look at how happy that caveman is right there. Well, what you don't see is right off camera is my 4-year-old daughter having the biggest meltdown of her life because she loved Yo Gabba Gabba, and I thought, oh, I'm going to be dad of the year. I'm going to take her to Yo Gabba Gabbaland until she met everybody and got her hugs, and then Daddy said, go stand over there while I dance and play with them. So it was this horrible core memory that she now has of her father not letting her play with her favorite people on the planet. Be very, very careful what you wish for. I love this show because it was one of those great shows that parents could watch with the kids. Oh my God, MTMG is playing. Oh my God, there's Jack Black, there's Sarah Silverman. Like, it was so, and of course, the fabulous Biz Markie, which introduced him. One of my daughter's first favorite songs was Just a Friend, and she was very concerned. She would want to listen to it all the time, and then she would go, later on, did the girl apologize for being mean to him? She really wanted to know that. So, yes, very much tied in with this show. And I can't believe I get to host this panel, their return. So without further ado, let us bring on the co-creators of Yo Gabba Gabba, Scott Schultz and Christian Jacob. Let's bring them out here. Yeah. We did it. Yeah. Oh my God, it says here on the show order, now I'm supposed to tell my personal anecdote, but I told it earlier. How do you guys, were you guys there when I was filming?
Yeah. I think I directed that episode where you were filming.
Okay.
And I remember the meltdown. It was great.
Yeah, it was really. My wife had to literally take her out of the soundstage. She was freaking out so hard.
Yeah, it was super cute. Super cute.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be in her.
She got some FaceTime with the character.
She did get some FaceTime.
Yeah.
But then, anyway.
Yeah, and we also had Edward Sharp and the Magnetic Zeros were on that episode.
That's right.
Yeah. And they were caveman as well. It was dinosaur theme.
Oh my gosh.
That's a great episode, by the way. Patton, come on, let's go.
I got to do really, really cool stuff on that show. And I got to, and again, getting to watch it. What was it like when the first time when the show was on and it kind of blew up and was kind of having its cultural moment? How did that feel for you guys? Because I remember back in the day at VH1, I and Blaine Capatch were working on doing an Aquabat show.
Yes.
Trying to develop an Aquabat show. So it was amazing to see it come full circle like that. How did that feel though? And where did Yo Gabba Gabba come from?
You go, Scott.
It felt amazing.
Yeah.
I think we didn't quite know. We were just doing something that was fun for us and fun that we wanted to have fun with our kids. So it was kind of honest when we first went into it, and kind of weird. We knew that maybe the executives wouldn't get it, so we.
Yeah, and Scott, just to go back a little further, Scott and I, we've been friends since we were little. You go back to that last slide, we met when we were about 15 or 16, and we just became really fast friends. We loved the same music. We liked going surfing. That's us there. We're like little kids with surfboards, and then that's me at my wedding. We've been friends for a long, long time, and doing lots of projects together. And when we started a family, we started separate families. We were like, let's do something for our kids. Yeah, let's do something for our kids. It'd be fun, right? And then it just kind of snowballed from there. It didn't happen right away. It took many years, because we would go pitch the show to people like on paper, and we'd have pictures of the characters.
They didn't quite get it.
And they'd be like, oh, so it's an animated show. We'd be like, no, it's live action, like, Sesame Street or, Puff and Stuff. And they'd be like, wait, let's look again. And then the characters would be on the page and they were just drawings. They'd be like, oh, so it's an animation. I'm like, no. And so we ended up making the show ourselves.
Yeah, it's kind of like we were just excited about kids' entertainment in general. Mm-hmm. Like we genuinely loved as adults, like weird, obscure 60s Japanese, kids shows. And we were like, why not? Why not do something amazing for our own kids? Like we were just barely having kids, and we wanted to be a preschooler again also, so.
But you reinforced something really cool in the show in terms of music, in that don't just play your kids the music you already like, and they will end up. So when my daughter was growing up, her favorites were the Beatles and Bowie and the Ramones, because
Ramones
didn't care about the lyrics, but the hopping up and down.
Yeah.
Like it's so the fact that you were bringing in contemporary bands that I liked, they became the band she liked. Like kids will. And again, when I was growing up, I remember seeing Stevie Wonder on Sesame Street doing Superstition, and it made me a Stevie Wonder fan.
Yeah, and I think that was a tradition that we grew up with as well, like watching Sesame Street, Electric Company, and you have all these amazing artists and musicians on the show doing something for kids and getting down in the sandbox and playing with their kids. And then it just seemed like that kind of went away a little bit, like it just kind of disappeared. Mm-hmm. And we definitely wanted to bring that back to our kids, to our generation of our kids.
Yeah, I think we were just naive enough to say like, whoa, this could be amazing. Like, look at all the opportunities. Like, why not have bands on, Just doing songs where they sound like the band, but they're doing lyrics that, preschoolers can identify.
Why can't Weezer dress up like a bunch of insects?
Why not?
Yeah.
Now, when did you first kind of realize, oh, this has gotten beyond our control, or this has gotten even bigger? Like, what was the first band that said, oh yeah, I'll do that show?
I think it was beyond the bands. For me, it was walking into the live show the first time and seeing thousands of little kids with their parents and feeling the vibrations of love and excitement. And that to me was the moment of like, oh wow, this is well beyond what we intentioned. This is kind of amazing, like beautiful in a way that I don't think we ever really intended on.
Yeah, it got way bigger than some of its parts. It's taken on this kind of magical thing that it just can't be stopped in a way. And for me, I agree with Scott, the live tour, but when we shot the pilot and we found Biz Markie on Facebook, and he just happened to be in town, and we were like, Biz, we want you to come and do this kids show thing. And we shot this segment with him, and afterwards he's like, if you guys get the show picked up, I want to teach kids how to beatbox.
Yeah.
It was like that kind of like, let's
yes.
shoot it right now. Let's do it.
Wow.
And got a camera, let's do this.
And so many magical things happened. And while we were shooting that Biz segment, we've all done productions that are kind of miserable and not fun. And it was just like this magic fun thing that it was very liquid, because we could just go, okay, Biz, let's do it right now. And that was kind of started the spirit of Gabba becoming bigger than it is, because it was just something that happened, and we said, yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah. When I went to the live show, the one shirt, they sold the shirts with the characters on them. The shirt that Alice wanted was the Biz's Beat of the Day shirt. That was her, because I wanted Beat of the Day. She loved Beat of the Day so much.
Oh man,
I love Biz.
Biz was great. He showed up to every live show, and like, he would read stories to kids afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, he never missed a live show.
Yeah.
He was there for the kids. Like, first and foremost.
Oh yeah, but then when he would sing Just a Friend, all the adults would
Yeah.
lose their minds. Lose their
And for
minds.
Scott and I, like, you know, Scott was a DJ, a wedding DJ, and I would be the MC, and like we did all kinds of fun stuff together. Music we've always been in bands and stuff, so becoming friends with someone like Biz Markie for us was like insane, and getting a call and you look on your ID and it's Biz Markie.
Yeah.
Christian, yo, what are you doing? Like he would just call to see how I was. And I
It's
was
taught
like,
us a lot.
You're Biz Markie, don't you have like some records to sell or something? And he was just the best guy,
Yeah.
such a great guy.
Well, let's bring out the voices of the world that you built.
Yeah.
Bring them all up here and say hello. This is, of course, the original voice cast of Yo Gabba Gabba. So please put your hands together. The voice of Flex, Christian Jacobs, Army on the stage.
Hello, everyone.
The voice of Muno, Adam Dybert. The voice of Fufa, Emma Penrose. The voice of Roby, Mosi Watney. Hey. And the voice of Tootie, Aaron Pierce. Aaron Pierce. So this first question I'm going to ask to kind of everybody, all the voice people on the panel, because this was, again, family and friends coming together to make something that they love. So you all, you know, kind of created these iconic characters and voices, but there were other random odd jobs you guys would do on the show, other characters that you played to kind of fill in. What were some of your most memorable ones?
Yeah, we had a lot of odd jobs, and then I was lucky enough to have another full job on there as well as one of the staff songwriters and composers, and wrote like Edward Sharp with the Meg Zero's Dinosaur Party song and the Weezer All My Friends Are Insects song and stuff like that, which was...
Adam has written so many songs for the show.
The core songwriter. Adam,
Did you write Bananas, Rice, Applesauce, Toast?
I did write Bananas.
Yeah,
That one was close to my heart.
whenever Alice would get sick, we would sing this. You know what you gotta have. She goes, okay.
I made sure that was scientifically correct, other than, unlike the Weezer one, which was way off, I said an Earth. So I apologize for that. And then also, I got to be in a costume every now and then. We got to be in, there was a Yo Dazzlers, which was like a band that was on the show, like a puppet band, and all four of the staff songwriters were in the costumes together, and did the voices too, so that was like a pretty exciting, kind of odd job. And yeah, a couple, yeah, those are my odd
I didn't even know that photo existed.
Digital unicorn.
That picture of Adam on the left there, that's at lunchtime. Every lunchtime we'd have a costume contest, and I think Adam won that day, so he was giving a speech to like.
Yeah.
Yeah, appearing as Digital Unicorn.
We didn't
yeah.
have Hawaiian shirt Fridays. We had like different costumes every day.
Yeah, every day was a different
Space
costume
Day.
contest. Yeah.
Ah, I was a winner.
Anyway, keep going. What
Yeah,
did you do
yeah.
on Tattoo Day?
Yeah, I won one of the costume contests, and it was really exciting because Jason Bateman was there, and right that day, and I was also in the costume as the character actor dancer in Fufa, right, and so. Yeah, I'd be, really sweaty, and we'd have to wear these under, like athletic clothes. It was hard. It was a little more difficult for me to dress up, but we had a cast-off box of like, oh, if you have extra costumes for people that want to dress up and wear something silly, and so there was a child's costume of a bee, and it was 90s day, and I just stuck the bee costume right over my neck, and you'd go around and be like, hey everybody, like, okay, what are you from the 90s? What are you from the 90s? And I was like, all I can say is that my life is pretty plain. From Blind Melon. From Blind Melon.
I know.
And I won it! I'm so excited!
That is awesome. Yeah, speaking of like contest days, that was the day when the Black Kids came and they did a song called What's Up Clown. And so I was also in the costume of Plex during the live tour, and then wrote a few songs like Loving Love My Family and the Erykah Badu song.
I love that song.
But also just got to do, these were the funnest. So I was a dancing clown in this random episode, and it looks really horrible. It's like really frightening.
Yeah.
Be fun.
It was like, hey, yeah. Speaking of.
That's me. And I took my dance seriously because I was ballet trained. So like, I remember the choreographer being like, Emma, like, you gotta smile. Because I was like, happy clown. happy clown.
What about you, Aaron?
I was actually the original costume character for Broby before I was cast as 2D. So I did Party in My Tummy and that Broby, and then, that was. Yeah. See, he's real. And then, funny enough, my sister became another Broby, so me and my sister would like pass off the costume. But I think the weirdest job I had was being the Oski Bug Queen from the Babies episode. You guys know that one? But it's just because when you're used to like a costume that is so like on your body and you're like, okay, this is my whole body. The bean shape of the Oski bug was like concave. I felt like I could live in there. What's the rent? Like, it was fun. But yeah, the random characters.
Yeah, for sure. Odd jobs, like when we were security guards for the night, we had this when we were shooting.
Literal security guard.
Jack Black was coming the next day, and so we were given the job to be security guards. I don't know, we're the two shortest people.
Yeah, it's like, who's gonna be
Really random.
scared of us? These goblins are gonna come and get us if we break into this dairy farm, whatever it was.
But we had to keep the doors open because it was so like stanky and smelly.
It smelled like costumes.
So
It smelled like sweaty costumes.
we didn't want it to smell like that when Jack Black showed up. So we were like, hey, let's just make sure it smells nice in here. So
Which is like a weird, that's such a weird thing to be concerned about because Jack Black is gonna talk about how much it smells here. He's gonna go on E! Entertainment and say, you Gabba Gabba smells.
Now, you each develop these characters, but is there a specific kind of facet to their personality that you feel like you brought to each one of them that is kind of essential, like an essential core thing?
Well, I think I leaned in pretty hard to the neurotic nature of Muno and the fear, the general sort of like unsureness, which I feel as a real human pretty strongly a lot of the time. So I was able to do that pretty well. And then also, I think there was the kind of like idea of the Muno voice was sort of like 3 years old, just unbridled enthusiasm and excitement to the point where you can't even handle it anymore. So everything that comes out is just 100% of amped. And I can get there, so I think I like took that and put it in there as much as I could.
Not to cut you guys off real quick, but just when we created Gabba together, we didn't go to like a casting agent. We didn't go to Hollywood and say, hey, we need to find actors. We just found our friends. And you look at YouTube now, and that's pretty much all YouTube. It's just normal people making their own theme. And we're just normal dads making our own theme. We didn't like go out and, hey, we gotta find someone that can do this or that. We said, who do we know that could write songs? Who do you know that has a good voice that could match Fufa? Oh, Emma's voice is very unique, or Aaron's voice pretty much is Tootie's voice.
It's true, I sound just like
And so, for us, finding the characteristics of each character and then matching them up with basically our friends or our family it was fun.
well, they know I'm always the last one at the food table. So of course there's a party in my tummy all the time. So. Hey, But yeah, food probably, and I also have like short guy syndrome because I'm pretty short. So of course I want to be big.
Short King.
I always envy the tall guys, but then they're like, oh, being tall stinks. You hit your head on stuff. Okay. Okay, fine, I'll take it.
I remember us just being in a room, like playing with what voices we can do, and it was so what a so grateful for the opportunity because I've been acting or going on auditions since I was a baby, really. And so who knew that like I would get such an incredible booking, right, in my early 20s. And I think that for me, the Fufa, like, she is a very loving character. And I grew up helping my special needs little brother and sister, and I'm so thankful because
Isn't she sweet?
She's really
The embodiment of Fufa. You just see a flower just coming out of her head right now.
I think some of our #1 fans are the best fans of the show that have been, on the spectrum and differently abled, and and they have such loyalty, and they find us, and it's so meaningful, and it's really blessed their lives. So, yeah, and the wonder of Fufa. She's a flower bubble monster, and so we do a lot of airy, and people used to maybe call me a bit of an airhead with some. But
I guess, what do I bring to Tootie? Especially this season, Tootie is kind of spicy.
Yes.
I like to think that is inspired by me. I think that the characters this season experience a lot more depth of emotion and a lot of range because, our audience grew up and they have kids now too, and there's different ways of parenting now. And, emotions and recognizing your emotions are on the forefront. And I think that this season specifically, we're addressing a lot of the more complex emotions that children have. And I think Tootie has some really interesting, I don't want to say angry moments, but she gets very frustrated with things, and that is absolutely me. I feel like they were writing this season, and they're like, well, what would Erin do? Oh, she'd get so upset. She would get so upset. And she'd probably sing about it. She'd probably sing about how upset she is. Yeah, I don't know. I just think her playfulness and her vocal undulations are.
I think something that's really cool about being part of our cast too is that we were often in this tiny little box all together. So when we're voicing off, we're really bouncing off each other. That's what's unique about this season. We didn't really get to do that much.
Yeah.
I mean, with this new show, sorry. But back in the day, it was we were just laughing and talking and really being.
Regretting having Chipotle.
Yeah.
Being in a little room together that's sealed. Gotta turn the air off because you can hear it. Tootie. And I'm sorry.
It was really hard to get anything done.
And Erin, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit because I will say I was intimidated to meet Erin before, we were able to all meet and voice together in a room, which really doesn't happen too much in voiceover these days anymore. It's a different change in the way things in production is done. But Christian really advocated for trying to, at least with this Gabba Gabbaland, to have those experiences and made it happen. And but I was gonna say for Tootie, I was intimidated to meet her because she's like a comic book. I mean, she's an artist and comic book. She hangs out with the boys of oh yeah, this video game and that thing and me having 3 brothers, I was she's the cool girl, the skater girl. Move over, Avril Lavigne, Tootie.
Well, speaking of Gabba Gabbaland, why don't we watch the trailer for the new show?
Folks, music. I demand you subscribe to this channel. Subscribe. Be prepared. Subscribe or be prepared for doom. Do not resist. Do not resist. Subscribe. Subscribe. Subscribe.